Okay. Hi.
I
Hi, Amanda. So I got your phone call this morning to meet today about something that happened at school. Can you tell me a little bit more about what happened?
I'm so angry right now. I just have so much to tell you. 2 weeks ago we met and we talked, and then the school's just not doing what we had planned. And I don't know. I need to know what I should do as a parent because they're not treating him the right way.
Right, right. So I hear that you're very frustrated and you're angry with the school. Is that right?
Yeah, how like 2 weeks ago I told you that they had that meeting and we had the IEP meeting, and he just, they agreed that if he started acting out, they were going to, they weren't going to take him out. They were going to like give him modifications. So during periods of time that they knew that would be hard for him, they were going to warn him. And if that didn't work, they were going to use the checkoff system to motivate him. And they didn't do any of that. I got a phone call from the principal last week, and he was like, oh, Jeremy's in the principal's office and you need to come pick him up. And they're not allowed to send him home. We agreed at the meeting that that's illegal. They're not following the rules.
Mm-hmm. So I see, yeah, it definitely seems like you had an action plan in place and they didn't follow it. I would be upset too about that,
Yeah.
definitely. Can you tell me a little bit more what it was like for you when you got the call that he was sent to the office? What was going on in your mind?
I'm just really mad, like, that the school is just not doing what they're supposed to do. Like, they had sent him home so many times, and he's just learning that if he doesn't want to be there, that he doesn't have to be there. He could just do something small and act out, and then they take him out, they take him to the principal's office, and they call me, and he's just not learning. Like, he's supposed to be there to learn, and if they keep sending him home, he's not going to make progress. Of course he's behind in all his materials because he can't stay in the classroom. It's stupid. I don't understand why he's doing this, but we have an agreement. We sit at the table. They say that they're going to understand, and then they don't follow it.
Right, right. I understand. So it sounds like that, that you're worried that he's not getting what he needs out of his education, and that you're worried that this behavior is going to continue and distract him from school.
Have you had other parents talk to you about this? Like, is this something where I should initiate like a lawsuit with the school? Because I'm mad. I am so angry right now.
I can see that you're mad. I can definitely see that you're mad. Can you tell me more about, what is it like for you to feel this way, to feel angry, and what did you want to see happen?
I want them to do what they're agreeing to do. I want them, we agreed, it's in writing. I want that, like, if I have to sue the school to do that, then I will. I don't want to do that. I want to just I just want to have them agree and actually follow through instead of just sitting at a table with pleasantries and, saying all that stuff. I want them to follow what they agreed to.
Right, right. So it sounds like you really just want them to stick to what you guys worked on. I mean, you sat down and you had a meeting and you talked about a plan. So you want to see that most of all be something to work because you want him to get what he needs out of his education.
Yeah.
Right, right. So what do you want to see happen as far as me? Do you need any support to make a meeting? What do you want to see happen?
I don't know, I guess what I'm looking for and when I'm here and the reason that I'm talking to you about it is because I'm kind of conflicted. I want to, have the school do it and like threaten them and tell them if they don't, start participating and doing what they've agreed to, then I'm going to get the lawyer. But at the same time, I don't want to ruin things for Jeremy because what if they take out their anger on me and him for what I'm doing, but really I'm just doing what's best for him for his future. And so I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right choice is here.
So, I mean, I think you have valid concerns, and most of all, you want them to see how serious you are about him getting what he needs out of school, and you want them to know how hurt you are feeling that he was sent to the office without them following through. So you really want some action. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So would you mind, maybe we could go up there together, set up an appointment. I could call the school for you and we could sit down and have a meeting, or would you rather that I sit down and have a meeting with them? What do you prefer?
I don't think they're gonna talk to you about him because the whole HIPAA thing. So I think even if I sign, they're really they don't really let outside people come in. I don't know if they're trying to hide something, but even just like, what do you think I should do? Do you think I should send a letter to the teacher and let her know if that doesn't happen? I don't want her to think I'm threatening her, and I don't want written documentation about that. Or do I call the principal? Like, I guess what do you think is right, or what should I do?
Right.
A better neutral approach?
I like your idea of putting something down in writing to let them know, and to do it in a way that's more, maybe less emotion, but more fact. I mean, it's pretty valid to say you have a plan that was already in place and then you want to see it follow through. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think it's a really good job too that you thought about that. So, so maybe we could start there. Start with a letter and maybe contacting them. The principal, send it directly to the principal. That might be a good idea.
Okay.
Great. And if there is, of course, nothing to follow through on this, I'd be happy to meet with both you and the principal together. I think as long as you're there, client consent, I have your consent to follow with them, so I don't think it would be a problem. So whatever way you would like to go with it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I'll try the letter first, and if that doesn't work and the teacher doesn't respond, then I'll just let them know that I want to schedule a meeting and come in with you. I think we can do, like we just had his IEP meeting, but I think we can do something called an interim IEP where if there's anything that's happening and we want to just call a meeting, we can do that. So maybe I can just try to do the letter first, and then if that doesn't work, then we can come up with a time that you'd be available maybe to go with me. Okay.
So that sounds like a good plan. So the plan is for you to maybe send a letter and then look into the interim IEP meeting. And then let's make the appointment next week so that we can touch base already. Does that feel okay for you to set up meet next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Does the same time work for you?
Yeah, that works fine.
Okay, great. Okay, Amanda. So I can't wait to hear about that letter and see how things work out for you when we meet next week.
I hope it works, but thanks.
Great. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Switch.
And Ariel is going to be the angry parent. Okay. So I'm the therapist. Okay. So hi, Ariel. How are you today?
I'm okay, Amanda. I am just so fed up. I don't even know where to begin.
Oh, no. Well, come on back. Let's go talk. I know last week we were talking about Jeremy. So how's everything going?
Well, as you know, we made the IEP meeting last week. We came up with a really good plan that when he is throwing things or footballs or hitting other kids, for his aide to direct them out and work with them on a one-on-one. And I got the phone call today that he was sent to the office again. So I am just very frustrated. I don't understand why they did that. I don't get it. I think they're stupid there. I don't know.
That would be different. I would be frustrated as a parent if there was someone continuously sending my son home. I can't imagine what that's like for you. It's throwing your life. You could be at the grocery store and all of a sudden you have to go pick up Jeremy or something like that. So I'm sorry, but what happened with the plan? Is the school just not following through, or are they doing it part of the time?
I don't know. It sounds like they're a bunch of idiots. I mean, if you have the plan, shouldn't they follow through with it? Why should I be getting this call today?
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, apparently he threw a spitball at the kid in front of him today. I don't know. It's probably the teacher wasn't giving him enough attention. It could have been a hard task. We talked about those things. And then he was sent directly to the principal's office, and I got a call this morning around 11 o'clock. So I had to go down to the school, and now he's home with me. I don't see how this is functional for him.
So what are his reasons, or not his reasons, but why do you think he's acting out at school? Why do you think he's having these behavior problems?
I think it's sometimes Jeremy acts out when he is presented with a very hard task. I mean, especially we talked about math, and I'm not sure, I didn't even think to ask, what were you doing a math assignment? But yeah, I think it could have been a very hard task for him, and that's when he usually acts out.
Okay, so it sounds like he might be escaping from some difficult tasks, like where he's like what you're saying. Okay, and then he's getting sent home, so he's getting out of whatever situation he's in. Oh, that's such a hard situation to be in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. I'm just more concerned about him getting the education that he needs. I mean, he's on with me. He's not learning anything. He's learning that throwing spitballs is his way to get out of math. And I don't know what he's going to be like when he gets older. He's going to, not finish school. That's what I see. So I'm very frustrated with the school. I don't know if I should send him a letter. I don't know if I should call the principal again and demand that they, work on this IEP. That's what it's for. So I don't.
The IEP is definitely a governing, it's a governing document that the school is supposed to follow. When you sign it, the school signs it, everyone is in agreement. So I think sending a letter to the school would definitely, be a good approach. Why don't we talk about what we could put in the letter to the school?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I want at the same time, I don't want to be too standoffish. Of course, I'm angry right now, but I want them to know that I'm very concerned about his education, and they can't be sending him home. So I just want them to know that they need to follow through what was written in an IEP.
Okay. I think one way to make sure that you're not coming off as abrasive, like what you said, you definitely want to just kind of step back from the situation and think about, maybe since you had the meeting, maybe there's some things that they are doing that are that is a part of the IEP. So maybe one of the things that you sent up was a visual schedule, and he knows that he finishes something. Is there anything that's going on right now that the school's doing well? Maybe we can come up with like one or two things.
Well, I'm not really sure. I think maybe they are doing a pretty good job with not isolating him, but letting him know that behavior is not acceptable in the classroom. I think that's pretty good. They do buddy him up with a peer that is motivating. So I like that they're working on those things with him. Okay. So yeah, I don't want him to escape task either. Yeah.
So setting him up with a peer, what classes are they setting him up with a peer in that you feel like that's successful?
He does really well with his English and phys ed class. I know this peer is very motivating, and they even walk home from school together sometimes. So
that's great.
Really great. Yeah. Yes.
So maybe since so is he doing well in English and PE, then maybe we can talk to the school about asking if they can pair him up with his friend for math instead.
That would be a good idea, but I feel that they don't follow IEP, then why would they follow this suggestion?
Well, we can maybe, the way that you can phrase it, you can kind of say, he seems to be doing really well based on our plan of pairing him up with his friend. He's doing really well in these areas. Is it possible to maybe, the worst thing that they can say is no, but you can always ask, maybe we can, I don't know. What else is happening? What else is something good that's happening?
It's really hard to come up with some good things with the school. I don't know. I hear that he's doing a really good job working with the teacher's assistant and the TA. That he just really likes her. He talks about her a lot. So I know that she works with him on one-on-one. So that could be something that maybe they could set up and reinforce. I know that she was written in the plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it sounds like we have two positive things that are, somewhat going well that the school is complying with. So I think maybe starting your letter off with how you're happy that they're starting to implement that might be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what you and I can talk about next is just how we want to phrase about what they're not doing. You know, I think if you're not wanting to have that aversive approach and come off as that standoffish parent, we have to be very careful with our wording, so that we're not coming off in any sort of aversive way. So why don't we try to come up with that right now? We have about 15 minutes or so left. Do you want?
Okay.
How would you think would be a good way to approach it?
I mean, I definitely think coming up with starting off with something that's good. I could talk about how the peer system is working well, the TA, how he really enjoys her. And I just want to definitely find a way to express my concerns about them needing to stick to the IEP, because the IEP is important. He needs to complete the difficult task for him to be successful in school.
I agree. So can you tell me more about how you would phrase that in a letter? Your concerns about the IEP and the school not following? Could you just take that a little bit further?
I would say, dear Mrs. Stropolis, the principal. I would ask her, could you kindly refer to the IEP, or instruct that your teachers refer to the IEP when managing my son's behaviors. I strongly feel that it's important for him to continue with his education and to continue in the classroom as much as possible so that he can be successful, overall.
It sounds like you have some great ideas. I really like the first two that you had about the positive things, and you were very specific with his TA, have the part of the IEP that states that he has the teaching assistant and that he has, you gave very clear and concrete examples. But when we get to that criticism part of it, we want to make sure that we're giving them the specific parts of the IEP that they're not following. So instead of saying that they're not doing something, we can phrase it in a way that, could we look at this a little more? So instead of saying that overall umbrella of IEP, can we talk to the teacher? How can we talk to the teacher about what that's specific?
Okay, I can see that.
Okay. What do you think? What would be that one specific thing that you would like?
I could say, what should be open, or how could I phrase it? I feel that my son would benefit from, he's already benefiting from your program. He would benefit more if you continue following these plans and continue, using the resources that you have at your school for him, possibly.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I really like that.
Okay, great.
I hope that this works out. I was really excited. He had the IEP meeting. I was really looking forward to hearing, that the school had made those adjustments, and hopefully with this letter they will.
Okay. So I hope so too. I'm not as angry now, so thank you for meeting with me, but
sure.
I hope that they do listen to, get the message, but hopefully.
We are all Team Johnny and Team Paul, so we want what's best for him.
Thank you.
Hard to make sure.
Great.
So, do you want to set up a time for next week? Does this time work still?
Yeah, it does. So we can set the same time, same day.
And hopefully, does that give you enough time to send that letter? Did you want to wait until you send it and try, or are you comfortable sending it?
You know what? I'm going to have this letter drafted tonight. I'm definitely serious about that.
Okay, well, I look forward to hearing that next week then. We'll talk about his reaction.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.